We spent 24 hours in one of the most beautiful villages in the world, Hallstatt, Austria.
This UNESCO World Heritage Site is one of the most popular places in Austria and attracts more than 1 million visitors per year.
In this video, we will show you the easiest way to get to Hallstatt, our 5 top pick must-do activities, and the average cost of food and drink to help you better plan your stay.
Stay until the end for our top tip for an unforgettable experience in Hallstatt.
So starting with how to get to Hallstatt. The closest major airports to Hallstatt are Salzburg, which is 50 miles away, Munich, which is 137 miles away, and Vienna, which is 180 miles away. To find the cheapest flights, we recommend using Google Flights.
From any of these airports, you can easily rent a car or catch a train. We decided to catch the train as we flew in from Vienna Airport. This was the longest journey and took around 4 hours. Originally, we purchased our train tickets through the ticket machines at the station and the airport. However, as we continued on our trip, we found a much easier way to do this was through the OBB ticket app. If you've ever used Trainline, it works in the same way as this, really easy to use.
The boat times line up with the departure and arrival times of the trains, which makes it very, very convenient. The boat costs €3.50, it only took 5 to 10 minutes to get across and landed you straight in the centre of Hallstatt. There are 2 car parks near the bottom of the funicular station, although these fill up quickly, so we recommend getting there early. This is around lunchtime, and as you can see, there's a queue of cars waiting to get in and no parking spots available.
Moving on to our top 5 must-do activities on your trip to Hallstatt. Number 1, explore the marketplace and the quaint back streets of this lovely village. The village is full of beautiful scenery and architecture. Some of the buildings date back to the 16th century. The square is home to the iconic St Michael's Chapel, which is one of the oldest structures in the village. At the centre of the market square is a fountain featuring a statue of the Holy Trinity. As well as these historic landmarks, you'll also find a hub of cafes, bars and restaurants. There are also plenty of shops to pick up some souvenirs from your trip.
Number 2, hike the skywalk. One of the highlights from our trip to Hallstatt was hiking the skywalk. This walk was 1.2 miles long, taking us around an hour at an elevation of 310 metres. You can start your walk from here. The route consisted of a mixture of stairs and paved terrain. Don't worry, there were plenty of benches on the way, which we made good use of as it was very warm when we visited. Throughout the walk, there were amazing views of the village, lake and alpine mountains, making it well worth the effort. Please note that this walk is not recommended in winter and will be closed off in certain weather conditions.
There are plenty of signs to walk you through the history of Hallstatt and the operation of the world's first salt mine. On this route, you'll pass a house that was home to many miners, as well as a place to repair any tools used to break the rocks. Interestingly, you can also see a portal into the historic salt mine. The extravagance of this entrance shows the significance and the economic value of the salt industry, as well as the power and influence of the emperor of that period. Many of these entrances lie close to brooks in order to generate electricity from the water, as well as transporting material into the town. Follow this sign to view the beautiful waterfall flowing down the mountain.
If you don't fancy the hike to the skywalk, there is also an option to take the funicular. A round trip costs €22 per adult and €11 per child. A very popular option seems to be to take the funicular up to the top of the skywalk and walk down the mountains. A one-way trip will cost you €12 for an adult and €6 for a child. Both the walk and the funicular station arrive at the same place at the top of the mountain. Here you can reward yourself with a traditional Austrian meal and a well-deserved drink overlooking the magnificent view. If you follow the skywalk, you will end up in the World Heritage viewing platform, providing stunning panoramic views of the surrounding area.
Number 3, do a tour of the salt mine. As previously mentioned, Hallstatt is home to the world's first salt mine. To delve further into the history, we recommend you partake in a tour. The start of the tour was a short distance from the skywalk. This route was well signposted and contained more facts about the history of the area. The price of this tour was €28 for an adult ticket and €14 for a child. However, you can buy a combined ticket with the funicular for €40 for an adult and €20 for a child. The salt mines open at 9:30 a.m. with the last tour at 4 p.m.
Number 4, there's lots of lake activities such as stand-up paddleboarding and swimming.
And number 5, visit the famous viewpoint that I'm sure you've seen all over YouTube and Instagram. To help you budget your stay, here are the average prices that we paid throughout our trip to Hallstatt. A glass of wine was approximately €8 and the main course was around €15 to €20 per person.
We spent about €120 in our 24 hours in Hallstatt. That included 3 meals for both of us and we shared a bottle of wine as well.
Before we give our top tip, we just want to say a massive thank you for getting this far on our first ever YouTube video. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please like, subscribe and turn on notifications to follow us on our dream to travel the world.
We really appreciate it. Now on to our top tip for your visit to Hallstatt. Hallstatt is a very popular day trip destination. It's very, very busy. As we've mentioned before, over 1 million tourists come a year, but we stayed overnight and we found that late at night and first thing in the morning, the famous viewpoint was empty, meaning that we could get some fantastic shots of the church and the surrounding countryside.
We will warn you, there isn't much nightlife in Hallstatt, but the tranquility and the views you get from no one being around honestly makes it so worthwhile.
Yeah, we tried to find somewhere to go out for a drink and there was only one bar available in the centre and it was too busy to get a table.
Yeah. As a final bonus tip, many of the restaurants were cash only, so we normally just bring Monzo and use Apple Pay. This wasn't available. We did have to use the cash points, which did have a charge on them, so make sure you bring lots of euros with you, ready for your trip.
Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and we'll see you in the next one.